जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Vasant Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we'll start with the prayers. Let me share my screen. Anyone would like to recite the prayers?
Yeah, can I read Hare Krishna Prabhuji? Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Sri Chaitanya Om Agnana Timirandasya Gnanajana Shalakaya Takshur Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Kurve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuthapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visaka Vitam Cha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपीसा गोपिका कंठ राधा कंठ तप्त कंचना गौरंगी राधा वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानो सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंचकल्प तरभ्य तरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य इव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा
Hare
प्रभु जी,
Krishna.
दंडवत प्रणाम। बैक टू प्रभु।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji, for
Thank you.
reciting the pranam mantras. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse number 21. So yesterday, do we know how many verses we completed, Mataji? I think 20 we started. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
we completed 20.
20. Okay, okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So we'll start with 21. So I'll just recite the verse and then everyone can take turns. Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam shine punye matyalokam vishanti evam trayi dharmam anuprapanna gata kama kama labante. Yeah, anyone else would like to try?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then I can try. Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, and Pranam all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Tetam bhuktva swargaloka vishalam क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विसन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्माम् अनुप्रापन्ने गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anyone else would like to try?
I can try, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
तीतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else would like to try?
I can read Prabhuji. Tetam bhukta স্বর্গলোকম বিশালম ক্ষীণে পুণ্যে মর্ত্যলোকম বিশন্তি এবং ত্রয়ী ধর্মম অনুপ্রপন্না গতাগতম কামো কামা লভন্তে. হরে কৃষ্ণ.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone else would like to recite, devotees? Yeah, if not, we can go to synonyms and translation. Yeah, anyone would like to read synonyms and translation?
I can read Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Synonyms: they, tam, that, bhuktva, having enjoyed, sarvaga heaven, visalam, vast, kisine, being exhausted, punye, the result of their pious activities, mratyaloka, to the mortal earth, visanti, fall down, evam, thus, trayi, of the three Vedas, dharmam, doctrines, anuprapannah, followings, gatam, death and birth, kamah, desiring sense enjoyments, labhante, attain. Translation: when they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Short purport. Would you like to read the purport, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can.
Yeah.
Purport: one who is promoted to the higher planetary systems enjoys a longer duration of life and better facilities for sense enjoyment. Yet, one is not allowed to stay there forever. One is again sent back to the earth upon finishing the resultant fruits of pious activities. He who has not attained perfection of knowledge, as indicated in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmade Asya Yatah, or in other words, he who fails to understand Krishna, the cause of all causes, becomes baffled about achieving the ultimate goal of life and is thus subjected to the routine of being promoted to the higher planets and then again coming down, as if situated on a Ferris wheel which sometimes goes up and sometimes comes down. The purport is that instead of being elevated to the spiritual world, from which there is no longer any possibility of coming down, one simply revolves in the cycle of birth and death on higher and lower planetary systems. One should better take to the spiritual world to enjoy an eternal life full of bliss and knowledge and never return to this miserable material existence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Anything you would like to share based on the purport, Mataji?
I just have a small understanding, Prabhuji. I'll still try to say what I understood. It's like three Vedas are really essential Vedas of our Sanatan Dharma. Even the person who has attained perfection in those Vedas can only go to heavenly planets, but they still have to take birth again after they have attained, you know, have achieved the results of their pious activities. They have to return back on the earth and have to go through miserable life and everything. But person who understands Krishna and surrenders onto him doesn't have to come back to earth. He directly goes to the spiritual world, and that's the end of this cycle. This is what I understood, Prabhuji. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Perfect understanding, Mataji. Very nicely summarized. It's very beautifully said. So now Krishna is explaining about the those who don't have faith in God. What happens, and what is this material world is all about, and people. So Krishna is expanding on this, from the ultimate goal down to the material world that people are suffering in the cycle of birth and death. In between, trying Krishna is trying to explain about what happens for those who are very pious. Even for them also, they have to Matya Lokam. They have to again come back to the mortal planet because the pious credits are not eternal. They may go up, Swargalokam, again they have to come down to the earthly planet. So it was said that in the demigod planetary systems, there is no old age as such, but then as soon as their pious credits are over, they have to fall down to the earthly planet, and they come down to this earthly planet in the form of rain, and again they enter into the grains and again into a mother's womb, and they take another form of a body, and then the evolution have to continue. So like that, the life cycle of jivas, they rotate from a Brahma Bhuvana Loka Pavanavartino Arjuna. So like this lokam is like the from Brahma Loka till Patal Loka, it's like a ferry, merry-go-round circle, like the ferry that Prabhupada is mentioning here. I think we all have taken probably this ferry wheels, right? Sometime it is up and sometimes you are down. This cycle just goes on like that. So similarly, this 14 planetary systems. So in one day of Brahma, um, some of these planets get submerged, and then some of them are above the pralaya. So there are pious souls who live in above the Swargaloka. There, Bhubhuvar, Swar, Mahar, Tapas, Janas, Satyaloka. Like Maharloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Satyaloka. There are all very pious souls. They live. So they try to go up, so elevate themselves so that they can also achieve the spiritual planet. But the right way to go is through the form of performing bhakti to Krishna. So and then the perfect even demigods, it is said that demigods also desire to come to this material world, so that in the earth planet, so that they can also perform bhakti. So here there are many other Krishna mentions many other points. Shine punye martya lokam, like, so the punya, the as soon as that pious credits are exhausted, so then again it's just like a bank balance. We have to the soul have to be take another body and whatever is the credit. So just like Prabhupada used to give this example, you go to a car shopping place, according to how much balance you have, that kind of a car you can purchase. Somebody purchases Benz, somebody purchases like a basic some Camrys and Corollas, and so some people purchase Ferrari. So depending on how much balance they have. Similarly, we can purchase the body of a demigod, we can purchase the body of elevated devata, or an ordinary human being, or it could be an any species of life. So it all depends on our pious credits. But bhakti is not dependent on any pious credits. So bhakti is purely anugraha, like Krishna's mercy. So that is why bhakti, if there is anything that we can purchase bhakti, that is only through bhakti. So bhakti only can purchase bhakti. So Rupa Goswami says in one of the verses, laulyam atimulyam. So he says only there is that the person has to be eager, very eager to attain Krishna. So that desire to attain Krishna. So in a way, it is also called, it can be translated as greed, but in a spiritual sense, that kind of eagerness to achieve Krishna is very much required, and it's not that easily available also. So where it is available is by the association of devotees, that kind of eagerness can be purchased. So when some devotees are really eager to serve Krishna, when we have that association, their association, and when we serve them, we can actually take that kind of eagerness to serve Krishna. So that is the only way to uh, purchase bhakti or get the mercy of Krishna. So kamaha, like desiring sense enjoyment, is basically is to enter into repetition of birth and death. So this morning in the Bhagavatam, I was also this how Vamanadev was teaching Bali Maharaj that I only want three faces of feet, land. And Bali Maharaj, Vamanadev was very small dwarf Brahmana. He was like just a young boy. His feet, how much can it actually measure? Like just 3 feet. And Bali Maharaj was like, come on, you sound to be intelligent, very knowledgeable, but you are not intelligent. How can you maintain yourself with this just 3 paces of land? I am the king of this universe. I can even give you an island. Just ask for more. Ask for a dvipa. He was saying like that, and he was like so elevated thinking that Bali Maharaj thought, you take a charity from me, again you go somewhere else, you should not ask for anything else. The whole life you should be settled. I'll just give everything you want for this life. So that was the mood of Bali Maharaj, that he was thinking that he was very powerful. But the Lord, as a Brahmana, he wanted to set that example, ideal example, that if you're not satisfied with 3 paces of land, then you won't be satisfied with anything. And then he proves, Vamanadev proves with many, many examples. He quotes many Shastras. He even quotes about Prithu Maharaj, how Prithu Maharaj actually, he was ruling the entire Saptadvipas. Still, he wasn't satisfied. His greed wasn't satisfied. He wanted to accumulate more. And then the Maharaj Gaya. So, like that, Vamanade gave several examples how the sense enjoyment is the cause of the whole cycle of birth and death. So, this sense enjoyment is what is actually causing us to work hard and expand our activities, so we don't have time for spiritual activities. The whole cycle of birth and death is caused by that sense enjoyment. How much and then finally Vamanadev concludes that I'm quite satisfied with 3 paces of land. And then Bali Maharaj smiles, and he doesn't have any counteractive statements. He says, okay, that I'm fine, that I'll just give whatever you're asking. So like that, that santushta, like the satisfaction, if there is if it's not attained with a small, whatever comes of our own, in the past life, we must have done some good deeds or bad deeds. According to that, we'll get something. But if you are not satisfied with that, then Lord Vamanadeva says that even the three worlds cannot satisfy us. So that is the power of greed. It's like a kind of a disease. So, but on the other side, we can seek the spiritual pleasure by entering into Krishna's bhakti yoga process. And in the Vedanta Sutra, it's called Janmadhyashyataha. So it is basically uh, Krishna is the source of everything. Is the Adi Purusha. So one who wants to understand Krishna, Atato Brahma Jignasa, then the whole thing turns around. So from the cycle of birth and death, they turn around into vimukta, like liberation. So and then there is a spiritual world that we can enjoy eternal life full of bliss and knowledge and never return to this miserable material life. So Prabhupada writes this statement is a very a powerful, elaborate statement that he has such a vision that we can enjoy eternal life full of bliss and knowledge and never return to this material miserable life. So Krishna even promises in Bhagavad Gita that once you come to my planet, you don't fall down again. So in this same very chapter, there are many verses. At the end of this chapter, Krishna gives a very confidential knowledge how to approach him by three main points. So we'll gradually come to this that particular verse. There's a beautiful verse coming up next also. Let's see if there is anyone would like to share anything on this verse, and then we'll go on to the next verse.
Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, regarding Bali Maharaj and Vaman Avatar or Vaman Dev, were there like three phases or 3.5 phases? It's nothing matter, but
Three is what Bhagavatam says, Prabhuji. Yes.
3 as per Bhagavatam.
Right.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. With one feet, Lord measures the whole, the lower and middle planetary systems, and with one the upper planetary systems. And then for the third one, Lord says, "Now, Bali, you gave three. You promised me three, but I have only two. Where should I put the third feet?" And then Bali Maharaj says, "Lord, I failed to uphold my promise. Just put it on my top of my head."
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Roji. Anyone would like to share anything else on this verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandapranam. Yeah, wonderful verse, Prabhuji, here, as you wonderfully mentioned about how we have to be satisfied with because if we are too greedy, then it will. And here, ultimate goal of even the Trivedis or Dvivedi, whatever, is to reach the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So, but that is only possible by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and cultivating the followings of the Guru Sadhu Shastra and associating with devotees and studying Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, chanting and devotional service. So simply following these things, and even if we reach the demigod Sloka, we have to come back as we discussed. So birth, death, old age, disease, all these things are inevitable. But only when we reach the lotus feet of the Lord, then it will be a pure bliss, unlimited bliss. Yeah, that's my understanding. And also heavenly planets, so we can say that it's a cycle of Birth and death, it's as you wonderfully discussed about the Ferris wheel. We go up, go down. So the best thing is how we can reach the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Shoji. You nicely mentioned those points. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anyone else would like to share anything? We can go to the next
Actually,
verse.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yes,
Is
Mataji.
even if we don't attend in this life the spiritual planet, it is also mentioned in the Shastras that the earth is destroyed after a certain period of like when 4 yugas are complete and everything. So even at that time, where do all the souls go? Like, do they go in the heavenly planets? Because I believe they are also destroyed. So what happens at that time? And if everything goes back to Krishna, then do we again come back? It's If you can answer this, I don't know.
Yes, Mataji. So there are different kinds of pralaya. So even night when we sleep, that is also kind of one kind of a pralaya. Meaning, when we sleep, we don't know where we are. We completely in a deep sleep state. That is also like a partial. But then again, we wake up and then we have same memories. We just act like similar way. Like that, there are partial pralayas. There are partial annihilation, complete annihilation. So the Mahavishnu, when he sleeps on the ocean, on the um, causal ocean, at that time, from his bodily pores, from his breathing, the entire universes come out. So the entire Brahmanda, like unlimited universes. In each universe, there is one Sirodakshai Vishnu, Karnadak, one in Sirshagar, there will be one Vishnu. That's a Purusha avatar. And then from his navel, there will be one Brahmaji will be there. So like that in each universe, there are unlimited universes. So that all comes from Mahavishnu's body, his breathing. Like that, there are millions of universes. Each universe, there are like planetary systems. In our universe, there are 14 planetary systems. So there are Brahmaji has a Chaturmukh Brahma. So he has four heads. In our planet, there are 14 planetary systems. So like that, you can imagine. So in our planet, in one day of Brahma, there will be complete annihilation. So up to the planet of so Brahmaji is in Satyaloka, except that planet, all of the other planets will be submerged at the end of the Brahmaji's lifetime. But then in one day of Brahmaji also there is night and there is daytime. So during his night time also there is annihilation. That is one kind of annihilation. In that During that annihilation, some of the planets get submerged, not all of them. Like the Tapaloka, Janaloka, like there are pious souls, they don't get submerged like that. But then at the end of the day, when the complete annihilation happens, all of the souls they enter into the Mahavishnu's body, and they are in the susupti state, like um, um, they are in the state that where there is complete silence and there is no exhibition of consciousness by the individual souls. But again, when the when the creation happens, each of the souls are put into different bodies according to the previous state of consciousness they had. So the Lord is giving them another chance to exhibit their consciousness and elevate their consciousness. So like that, Nardamuni, if you read Nardamani's pastime, he enters into Mahavishnu's body, and then the next time when he came out, he was given this body of Narada Muni as a son of Brahmaji, because he perfected in the previous life. So according to the state of consciousness that one had, he gets another body according to that consciousness. And I mean, everything is creation of God, but then one portion is spiritual, that is never annihilated, and this the material portion is created and again annihilated. It's like bhutva bhutva pralyate. So like that it is going on. But both are nitya, both are happening, eternally it's happening. So from that perspective, both are completely eternal, but then it's the manifestation is temporary here, but their manifestation is permanent. So to your point, to your question, there are three states of consciousness: awake, fully awake, and then deep sleep, and then partially awake. And there is a terminology for it. So there are three states like this. So when we are in Mahavishnu's body, we are completely in deep sleep state. And when we are in this, body, we are fully conscious and fully awake. So like that, there are different levels of consciousness. Does it, I mean, answers to some extent, Mataji? I think I
Yes,
can.
Prabhuji. So if we are in spiritual planet, if Krishna blesses us and we reaches the Golok Vrindavan Dham, so there are no chances that we are coming back on this earth. Like even if it is annihilated or whatever happens, pralay, we don't come back, right?
We don't come back because Krishna promises, and also we don't come back because we realize that this is not a happy place. I mean, it's like both ways. Prabhupada used to say that there is a freedom at every stage, even in spiritual world, but we consciously make a decision that we understand, we have full memory that the material world is not a place of that we can actually go and explore. We may come here for preaching, but not for suffering.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, just like children, they learn. Once they learn that certain places are not good, they don't go there, right? So, like that, also, Krishna is giving a playground for us. So, this entire, the whole material world is just a playground for Krishna. So, he is playing with all of us, and we have to obey the rules and regulations. If we play by the rules of Bhagavad Gita, then we can escape all the sufferings. Otherwise, there's so much suffering here.
Yes, Prabhuji, that's right. So we do not have so we have memories of this material world when we go to spiritual planet.
Yes, yeah, yes, Mataji. Yeah. We have all complete memories of material world. So that's why the devotees are sometimes named as Trikalagya. They can see, even though they have, devotees have some yogic powers also. They don't exhibit. They can see the future. They can see the past. They can see what is happening, but they won't disclose. I mean, for them, bhakti is of predominant important, so they may not disclose all the powers they have, but they have all that vision. But the Nitya Siddhas, they come here, they perform some pastimes and they go back. They dance according to Krishna's desires, like Prabhupada was writing, right? But they understand Krishna is all powerful, and all they have to do is just abide by Krishna's instructions. That they very carefully go in that route. From that perspective, they are completely, liberated. Either in this material world or spiritual world, they are liberated, Nitya Siddhas. But the others are actually, we are trying to touch the fire and see if it sparks, and then again touch it, again keep going, cycle. Once we completely understand, then we don't play with the material world.
That's true, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mataji. So let's see if we can read the verse number 22. Yeah, so beautiful verse that Prabhupada used to chant. अनन्यश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्यभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहामि अहम्. Yeah, anyone would like to chant?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I would like to chant. Prabhuji, you explained very nicely about the Sushupti stage of the souls. Thank you, Prabhuji, for that.
Thank you, Mataji.
Text 22. Ananyas-chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nittaviyuktanam yoga-shemam bhayamitaham. Back to you, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Anyone else would like to recite?
Can try to go ahead, Prabhuji.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Okay. Sure. अनन्याश्च चिन्तयन्तो माम् ये जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम्. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Anyone else would like to recite?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
अनन्यासिन्तयन्तो मां ये जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमवहाम्यहम्. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, anyone else would like to recite?
Can I read Hare Krishna Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Ananya Sintayanto Ma Ye Jana Paryupasate Tesam Nityabhiyuktanam Yogaksemam Vahami Aham. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, let's read the synonyms and translation. Yeah, anyone would like to recite synonyms and translation?
I can, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Synonyms: ananya, having no other objects; chintanto, concentrating; mam, on me; ye, those who; jana, persons; purupashyate, properly worship; tesham, of them; nitya, always; obi, uktanam, fixed in devotion; yoga, requirements; shemam, protection; bahami, carry; aham, I. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki joy. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, anyone would like to read the purport?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please, Mataji.
One who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours a day, being engaged in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, fully to the Lord. Such activities are all auspicious and full of spiritual potencies, which make the devotee perfect in self-realization, so that his only desire is to achieve the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without difficulty. This is called yoga. By the mercy of the Lord, such a devotee never comes back to this material condition of life. Kshema refers to the merciful protection of the Lord. The Lord helps the devotee to achieve Krishna consciousness by yoga, and when he becomes fully Krishna conscious, the Lord protects him from falling down to a miserable conditioned life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Any points you would like to share, Mataji?
So, Prabhuji, from what I'm understanding here, Prabhupada is explaining the path of Bhakti Yoga here. What are the steps? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Sharanam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, I think, and one more I forgot, Prabhuji. I think he
That's
Tasyam, yes, Prabhuji. So so Prabhupada is explaining all of these steps when somebody is trying to follow all the time throughout the day, 24 hours a day, then Krishna will help those devotees to become self-realized, and then that person will uh, will have the protection of the Lord, that is called Shema, and then they will never fall down to this material world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, very nicely you summarized. So this verse is a very beautiful verse. So we can see Ananyas means like there is no other there is no other shelter except one object. Like just focusing on one, concentrating on one object. So Chintayanto, like this is much more like these two words together. Ananyas is already like no other object, and concentrating, Chintayanto mom. Mom is basically, Krishna is referring to himself. So Ejana Pariyupashate. So they're one who attains this kind of concentration, uh, and also like Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam, like fixing in devotion. Then Yoga Kshemam, like the Kshemam means the protection. Vahami Aham. So Krishna is giving assurance that anyone who able to concentrate on me, on my devotion, they don't have to endeavor anything else. Basically, Krishna from within the heart, he is going to protect such a devotee, and he is going to give all kinds of intelligence how to connect with Krishna. So basically, this connection is called yoga. That's what Prabhupada is explaining in the purport. So the whole word yoga, it's Prabhupada used to explain. It's called yoke, comes from another word. The yoke means to link. To the linking process, basically to link with God. And this yoga system, there are different kinds of yoga: karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, nishkama karma yoga. Like that, there are different ladders how to connect with Krishna. But the direct connection is the bhakti process. So that bhakti process, Krishna himself is explaining, and Krishna himself is saying, and Krishna himself will say that how that bhakti process. At the end of this chapter, he is going to give that essence. Manmana bhav mat bhakto madhyaji. That verse, Krishna is going to give how definitely that I give you assurance that by this process one can attain the same nature as Krishna and attain to the same planet as Krishna. So in this chapter, if you look at it, so Krishna started this chapter by saying how the Raja Guhya Raja Vidyam, the secret of all secrets that he wanted to reveal, which is the bhakti process, susukam, joyfully performed, pratigya avagamam, so we can perceive through senses. But then on the other side, those who are not faithful to this process, Krishna gave a warning that they have to return to this cycle of birth and death. So, and then Krishna started explaining that he himself, comes to this material world. He does not have any duties to perform, but still he is setting an example for everybody else to follow. And the whole creation is under the illusion. Sometimes people think Krishna is like a human being, is ordinary person. Like that, under the Maya, under the illusory energy, they does not understand the superior nature of the Lord. He's the Mamabhuta Maheshwaram. He's the Lord of everything. So, and then Krishna, after giving that introduction, now Krishna started giving little more details about his energies, how he is present everywhere. He is the Omkara, he is the healing herb, like that, he is the fire, the Vedas. Then Krishna started explaining about how to reach him to reach him, what is required. So now in this verse is basically opening that doors once again, saying that exclusive devotion is required. So one who have exclusive devotion, they can actually reach Krishna through this connecting through the exclusive devotion of uh, and this Kali Yuga, that exclusive devotion can be achieved, that Ananya Chintayanto Mam can be achieved through the chanting process. The chanting process is basically concentrates your mind. The whole when you chant the Krishna, Hare Rama, the Rama and Krishna, when you just focus on that mantra, then gradually that absorption becomes very intense. And then at a certain point in your chanting, when you're able to focus 100%, then you can achieve the state of samadhi, exclusive meditation, in a very quick amount of time. So otherwise in Satyuga they used to meditate for thousands of years. But in Kali Yuga that is possible just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, and there is also no any rules and regulations. So like it's very easily available in the form of Kalikale Namarupa Krishna Avatar. So Krishna is in the form of a holy name, very easily available in Kali Yuga, and he is awarding this bhakti through this chanting process. So in this verse is very, very important verse. We can also memorize it. So in this verse, the word Shemam is Krishna's guarantee that he is going to give us that protection, that we are, we need protection, and that basically that protection means the Lord's mercy is going to come, is going to protect us from the sinful tendencies, the temptations, trying to bend ourselves for the sense pleasures. All those temptations Krishna will protect, provided we perform bhakti. Krishna is going to give that protection. And what is the greatest protection? The greatest protection is, Krishna is going to rescue us from this falling again in the cycle of birth and death, and falling again in the species of life, another animal species. He is going to protect us from all those difficulties. And finally, we can enter into the Krishna's planet. That is the mercy of Krishna. So here, that is what Prabhupada is also saying. This is such a devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without difficulty. So Krishna within the heart is going to give all the path wide open, give us mercy so that we can march forward. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Let's see if there any other discussion on this verse, devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained, Prabhu, about the pure devotees and how they behave, and that's the 24 hours only job is to think about Krishna, engage in his service. At Srila Prabhupada is the biggest example, how he did in his whole life, chanting, preaching Krishna consciousness throughout the world. That's why we are able to do the devotional service in the United States. So Prabhuji, and also I was reading Srila Rupa Sanatan Goswami's meeting with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Srila Rup and Sanatan Goswami was doing job in under the a Muslim king. And Srila Rupa Goswami, when he resigned from his work, it was still okay and the king accepted. But for Sanatan Goswami, it was a little troublesome, because king was not willing to leave him, and he was asking why not coming, etc. And Sanatan Goswami was giving the excuse that he is not well. But the king was very angry, and then he misbehaved with him, and then his village, he arrested some people. But it was it's not easy when I was reading. And then both of them finally escape and meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then from then on, they are the manjuris. They came in this material world to give us the Krishna prema. So, but when they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then on, their life only was to think about Krishna, preaching and spreading his glories. So, and then Mahaprabhu actually protected them.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
was so beautiful, Prabhuji, when I was reading. Very, very beautiful.
Yes.
The poems.
And I think when Sanatan Goswami was going to meet Mahaprabhu,
Mhm.
Mahaprabhu said there must be somebody outside with a beard, and so please bring him inside. So, and then Mahaprabhu hugs, right? So
Mhm.
Sanatan Goswami was not happy that Mahaprabhu is hugging him at that state, but
Yeah.
he was very happy that he was able to escape the prison of that Muhammad king.
Yeah. And also Sanatan Goswami once he had the some skin disease, and his whole body was like scarred. And he said, I'm going to leave this body. I'll jump from the Govardhan hill. And Mahaprabhu just hugged him tightly and says, Why you will leave? So it was so much love between a pure devotee and Krishna. It's so beautiful. It's a very nice pastime to meditate on, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Thought to.
thank you. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing that pastime. Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas are very sweet. So he is just 500 years ago, he came personally, is none other than Krishna himself. So his Leelas with how he gave protection to his devotees and his contemporary devotees were very sweetly mentioned Chaitanya Charitamrita. Basically, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uplifted many, while he was on the tour of South India. Wherever he went, he was able to uplift everyone into devotion just by his glance, by his, even Sant Tukaram was initiated into the Sankirtan movement like that. So he flooded the whole India in Sankirtan movement. So that time, so Lord, when Lord comes, his potencies are unlimited. So just by his glance, he invokes the power of, he can give bhakti to anyone. So he's completely independent. So in this case, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami have to go through a lot of sufferings, and also there are very the pastimes will melt our hearts. Like how come Lord comes in a sannyasi form and then have these kind of leelas? It is in a way it's not even reverence, but it's actually on the other side sweetness and like Lord sitting on a place where people wash their hands. Like when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked him to sit, he just chose a place to sit where people wash their hands, and he was completely taken off, and he was looking at Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu's face, there was so much effulgence and Brahmajyoti, and he got completely captivated, and with such humility, and on the other side, such elevated knowledge, that he
Yeah,
is
Prabhu.
a very elevated Vedantist and
That's the Prakashananda Saraswati, Prabhuji.
Prakashananda Saraswati.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was a Mayabadi,
Ah.
impersonalist. Yeah.
So when Lord was sitting, he was completely taken off. So like those kind of pastimes or will melt our hearts, and especially in Kali Yuga, Lord came us to teach humility. Kali Yuga, we cannot actually conquer. We don't have that much virya to conquer our have sense control or anything. But with humility, we can actually conquer all of our enemies. So that's why that anytime I used to have a conflict, my spiritual mentor used to say, Trinada pisu nich, tarora pisu hisnuna, amanina manadena kirtanya sadahari. So in Kali Yuga, there's only one way to conquer all the problems, humility. So otherwise, it'll be low so much troubles. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Anyone else would like to share anything? Hare Krishna. If there is nothing else, then we'll conclude today's session. With all of your permission. Yeah, thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrand ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrand ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
धन्यवाद।